Amanda, we're going to start with you first. So where do things stand now on this COVID relief bill? Can senators take off now and go home and get some rest?
Yes, actually. We've started to see some senators make their way home, heading to the airports, leaving within the last few minutes. And as you said, the next steps here really come down to the House, which we just heard from Leader Steny Hoyer, who said that they're expecting to bring a vote on Tuesday. He released a statement saying that they are going to bring this up and expressing confidence that the changes that were made within the Senate version of this bill are not going to be difficult to then continue on to pass again to bring to Biden's desk. And we also heard from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just in the last few minutes saying that he spoke with President Biden, that he said that they would get this done, that they would get this through, and noting that they were confident they've been in close touch with members of the House to move things forward and have this expedited before that March 14th deadline. So no real surprises here in the final vote tally either. It came out to 50-49 to pass this legislation, and in part because Senator Dan Sullivan was missing, had a family emergency and had to leave, so that vote then didn't need that Senate tie-breaking vote from the President of the Senate, Vice President Kamala Harris. It passed strictly on party lines. There was no GOP support at the end of the day. But moving forward, that Democrats are expecting and confident that they will be able to move this through within the next few days in order to get it signed into law.
Okay. Thank you for that. Again, wrapping up what we've seen over these many, many hours, but notably just in this last hour. Moving on to the White House with Monica Alba. Have we heard anything from the White House on this?
No official reaction yet, Alex, but we do expect President Biden to make some formal remarks now that this has passed. He has been really stressing the urgency of the moment and the need for this relief now. And even though, of course, it does have to go back to the House, it has to be passed there before it gets to his desk for signature. This is something that President Biden is going to be able to tout, we expect, as really his first legislative priority victory and the number one thing on his agenda. This is something that he campaigned on. It's something he promised the American people as president-elect. And after he was sworn in January, he said he was really going to spend the bulk of the first 100 days on getting this accomplished. And it all seems it's heading in that direction. And it really coincides. You have to take and zoom out and think about the symbolism of the fact that we are nearing the 1-year anniversary of when this was declared a national emergency, the coronavirus pandemic, and how it has affected so many millions of Americans. So the fact that the president is going to be speaking to that, of course, acknowledging all of the death and devastation and grieving families, and now he's going to be able to go out and say, I'm delivering some of the relief and help. That's what we expect to hear from him a little bit later today, and then he's going to be taking that message on the road next week. He's going to be visiting some vaccination centers for veterans, for example, and then he's also going to be going to Baltimore, Maryland, to meet with some of the CEOs of Merck and Johnson & Johnson to tout their new emphasis on trying to get that vaccine produced more quickly and out. So you're going to see the White House now pivot to be able to say, here's what's in the American Rescue Plan, here's how we're hoping it's going to be used very quickly before they start to then look to other things they want to do on Capitol Hill, such as potentially infrastructure and immigration. But today you can expect to see President Biden very pleased with this outcome, even though we know he was up late last night working the phones, talking to Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, trying to get Democrats to be unified. As we saw that vote take much, much longer than expected yesterday, it seems he was able to do that. And so now the conversation really shifts, the White House says, to how this is going to be implemented. And you didn't see any Republican senators support it. Their response to that is that there was some bipartisan support among Republican mayors and governors. And so you may see some of those people in the next couple of weeks alongside the president talking about how it can help their local communities. But that will be another question for the White House that they have not yet really answered, which is the fact that they weren't able to get any Republican senators on board with this, even though they were able to pass it with this very, very narrow majority that did not ultimately need the tie-breaking vote of Vice President Kamala Harris, Alex.